All right, guys, Auto Fanatics. So this is the Black Friday 2020 video. This is actually one of my favorite videos that I shoot for you guys for the last couple of years that I've had the Auto Fanatic channel. So everything on the table is gonna pertain to auto detailing, working on your cars, tools, anything for your garage, your shop, or your car. So everything also on the table I used throughout videos throughout 2020. I did not do exclusive videos on all of the items, but you may see some of the stuff on the table in upcoming videos by the end of the year or early on in the new 2021 year. So I'm really excited because we got a lot of cool tools today that I want to show you. Stuff that I bought this year that absolutely blew me away because of quality, innovation, and they just do something a little bit special and they solve real world problems when you guys are working around the house, working under your cars and all of that stuff. So we're gonna break this video up into a couple of categories. Let's get this video started right now. First power tool category I'm gonna go over are some of the Milwaukee M18, M12 components. Now there's one item that I wanna start out with first because I showed this last year. This is the compact Milwaukee M18 vac. Now, a lot of guys watched that video and a lot of people have been emailing me for the past year on how well this has held up. And I just wanna let you guys know that I use this vac several times a day, every day in the garage and for the cars. I pick up metal shavings, wood shavings, plastic shavings, anything around the garage and house. This thing is incredible. Also, this does have enough power to suck up water. So it's not designated as a wet dry vac, but just to let you guys know, this is one of the best things that I've ever bought for my garage, and I use it so often. That's why it's in this video today as well for 2020. Now, a buddy of mine, Jerry, he lent me his Milwaukee M18 impact gun. Now, I usually use the titanium Ingersoll pneumatic impact guns when I work on my cars. But he says, you know what? Take it for a few days, try it out, let me know what you think. The first day that I used it, I loved it, I ordered it immediately. The reason why I love it, it's compact, it's lightweight, you have adjustable torque here with the button. You can see down there. And you also could pretty much use any of your existing M18 batteries. Now this one is the 3-point high output, which is the lighter lithium ion. And ever since I bought this gun, I no longer have turned on my air compressor to do any suspension work or remove wheels and tires from any of my cars that I'm working on a regular basis throughout the week. So this is definitely a home run. I've always been eyeing these up. And like I said, the ones that I've seen in the store before were like the real heavy duty ones. They weigh like 7 pounds. And I don't really want something very heavy for my wrist. I wanted something lightweight, compact, and something that has enough torque to do exactly what I'm doing. So this thing, you've definitely seen this in prior videos, and you're gonna be seeing this for the future in the upcoming videos as well, because I use this thing almost every other day in the shop. So that thing is an absolute home run. Now, if any of you guys are doing like oil changes on any of your cars, whether it's domestic or European, there's a lot of fasteners that go underneath the front fascia. Sometimes you have to get into the wheel well to get to the oil filter and stuff like that. So instead of doing it by hand, this little gadget, this is the M12 right angle. So you have a little lock here. You could just push it forward. You take your bit adapter out and you can set up your Torx like I have here, and you can pretty much just zip all the bolts off safely, easily, and save yourself a hell of a lot of time. Now, if you don't want to go right angle, you have a conventional stubby impact driver. This is light duty, same thing. You just pull the lever forward, you put your bit in there, and same situation as well. What the great thing about all of these tools here is that the batteries are universal. So Milwaukee makes some awesome stuff. And I think out of all the brands that I've seen, from Makita, DeWalt, you know, any of the brands out there, I think Milwaukee has the best product range from start to finish for fabricators, from DIY automotive, and everything in between. Also, another cool little gadget is the Milwaukee digital infrared thermometer. You can see that there. This is pretty cool. Cool thing to have in your toolbox. A lot of guys like the flukes. This is actually a pretty good tool. And I actually have a fluke in my drawer as well. And believe it or not, these things are pretty accurate. So this is good if you're gonna be doing auto detailing and you wanna check the panels as far as the temperature. You don't wanna do certain ceramic coatings and certain sealings when the panels are too hot, especially in the spring and summer times, or some of you guys that live in Texas or high heat locations. This is definitely good to have. Also, I use this when I'm testing brake pads and brake rotors to see how hot I get stuff before I, grenade anything. So this is definitely pretty cool, and it's relatively inexpensive. All these things you could buy on Amazon. You could also buy these at some of your local Home Depots. And also I'll put a couple of links to where you could also buy this stuff elsewhere as well. Another cool thing, because I do a lot of metal fabrication, is a portable M12 cutoff wheel. Now, what's really cool about this one, you're gonna hear it. It's got a soft start. and you can see the way the motor stops. Now with a pneumatic air tool, this thing will tend to spin as soon as you let off the trigger because of the way the mechanism is designed. So this is really cool if you're doing some small stuff. You want to cut some plastic, you want to cut some steel, some aluminum, anything. If you want to build something for your car and you want something quick, leave this on the shelf, just grab it, it's ready to go, and you're good to go. Another cool thing too, and I use these oscillating tools a lot when I'm fabricating a lot of custom stuff in cars, and I have one by Festool and I have one by Fine. And those, you know, they're heavy duty, they're really more commercial grade tools, but sometimes you want something a little smaller, a little bit lighter to get into, like behind the dashboard of a car if you're putting in a custom radio or you're doing any kind of custom fabrication like that on a custom car or restoration you're working on. And this is the M12 oscillating tool by Milwaukee. Really, really cool thing. And if you guys are looking for one of these, you could buy all the tools on the table as bare tool only. And if you already have the existing battery packs, then you just pretty much pop the battery pack off and you're good to go. But definitely check out these high output CP 3.0 batteries. These are the ones of choice. It makes the tool a lot lighter, and they also seem to last a lot longer. So we're gonna move over to a couple more tools right now. So this is the Milwaukee M18 Rocket Light, what they call. So it's very, very heavy duty. It telescopes, so you can raise this up all different angles. Now what's really cool about this tool is that not only does it take batteries, I'm gonna show you guys here. So you could pop the batteries right back into there, but you could also plug it in through your conventional 115 outlet with an extension cord. So that's why I think this is super cool for any of you guys that are auto detailing and doing paint corrections or even working on your cars. So there's gonna be times where you're gonna be working on a car where it may not have a sunroof and you could be parked in your garage where your light's above the sunroof area and you can't see what you're doing behind the dash. You set this thing up, passenger door, driver's side door, you could redirect it anywhere you want. It's got bright enough lumens and it doesn't generate enough heat, so it's not gonna cause any issues if you get close to any of the interiors. And also when you're working underneath the hood of the car or in the trunk of the car, this thing is absolutely awesome. It's about $199. It's very heavy duty. It folds up nice and easy and compact. You can throw this in the corner of your garage or even in the back of your car. And this is really cool too, because I've used this when I went on site to do paint corrections at customers' garages. Sometimes the garages don't have the best lighting. So grab an extension cord, grab a couple M18 batteries, you set this up panel per panel, get on your creeper seat and take your time and do your paint correction. And this is gonna be a really awesome way to do it. Now I have a lot of spotlights in the garage, but they're not on a stand. So you either have to set those up on a table or set them up somewhere on the floor and try to redirect that light. With the Rocket Light, you could adjust it infinitely, all different directions, and it will radiate that light to your work zone safely and easily. So this is another awesome tool by Milwaukee, and definitely for guys that are working in the cars, DIY or auto detailing, this thing is definitely something you should really think about picking up because I think it's an incredible value and it's super versatile that you're gonna, once you use it, you're gonna realize how the hell did you go about not having something like this in your garage moving forward. So auto detailing polishers as far as what I purchased this year and what I absolutely love. So I did an extensive video on the Griot's Garage G8. This machine is one of my favorite machines that I've picked up ever because it's so versatile. It's so safe to use. It's got an awesome ergonomic and everything about this machine, if you know what you're doing, you could pretty much do everything. You could actually paint correct an entire car with this little machine if you know what you're doing. I don't like to use these smaller step down 2-inch pads. I like to keep the 3-inch pads. I use the Opti pads. I use Rupes pads. I use the Griot's Garage pads as well. So the Griot's Garage G8, this is the polisher to get. It's like I think it's $149, and for Black Friday, these most likely will be on sale, and all this stuff is gonna be linked in the video as well. Now, something that accompanies the G8, Griot's Garage came out with some new polishing pads. These are actually really good. These are their version of their wool polishing pad. They have a little slight foam interference. These things work really well on hard clear coats. And if you guys are going to be doing any wet sanding and polishing and severe defects, these also work outstanding. And I've tested them already on restoring damaged headlight housings. So you could take the heavy cut compounds or anything else that you have in your cabinet and put it on this G8 and speed it up, and you could polish them to perfection. And the cool thing about these pads, from my use, this is actually my 4th batch of these. As soon as they came out, I bought a couple of these and I've been using them. And then, you know, I kind of clean them up and throw them out as I use them. They don't dust out. So on a lot of wool pads, when you turn on the machine, you get dust all over the car. And I've always had black cars, and that always drove me crazy from the pads by like Lake Country, 3M, or a lot of the manufacturers, even like Malco, like anything in commercial grade, it would always dust out all over the car, and it just drives you nuts that you got to constantly chase that. Now, this is like my little favorite tool here. this is definitely my favorite polisher that I've gotten this year. This is the Flex FXE15 cordless dual action polisher. Now, the reason why this is my favorite is because this is the smoothest, this is the quietest, this is the most refined cordless polisher you're gonna get anywhere on the market. I've tested them all. This will be in an upcoming future video on the Auto Fanatic channel. I'll show you guys this tool in action and go over some more of the features. Now, when you buy this kit, this is expensive, this is almost $600, you're gonna get 2 of the 18-volt batteries, you're gonna get the Flex digital charger. Now, you're gonna get the smaller backing plate. I have the larger one on here, so the larger one is an option. It's about 25 bucks. But I'm gonna show you guys here on the video on how smooth this tool is. Okay? Now, the one thing you're gonna notice when you pick up this tool is the balance, the construction. It does not get hot. I've already paint corrected about 6 cars with this, top to bottom, and with the dual batteries, you're able to do a complete car. Now, this is not gonna be something that's gonna be used for a 3-stage paint correction, something that's really, really beat up and torn up. I like to use this as the final pass. So if I'm using a Flex 3401, or if I'm using my Boss G21, and I wanna give the car a final finish, this thing, you could zip through it in about 35, 40 minutes, put the appropriate pad on there. It's absolutely incredible. Now, the one thing, you do get used to holding it right here, and you hold it over here. You could put a handle on either side, but the tool has such good balance and such amazing control that once you use it, you're never gonna go back to trying to use any of the stuff from like the Walt Makita. Now, the one thing that I love about this tool, like you heard it in the video that I just turned it on, is quiet. This is the only dual action 15mm orbit polisher from any brand that I've tested that doesn't have gear chatter at low RPM and is super, super quiet and smooth. And for me, like I said, that's all part of the process. It's all part of the experience. I want to enjoy when I'm polishing a car. I don't want to have the racket. I don't really, wear headphones and music when I'm doing this stuff. I like to get in my zone, and I just like to do it. So this is the Flex XFE15 cordless polisher kit and the Grills Garage G8. This thing is freaking awesome. So let's move on. I'm gonna show you guys some more cool stuff. All right, so another cool item, Grills Garage hose kit. Now, I was eyeing this thing up for about 10 years. You see a hose handle and you're like, oh, it's $100. How good could it be? And you kind of really want to splurge about it. So I busted up my hose handle, I ran it over, and I was like, you know what? I'm placing an order with Grills Garage anyway for some more replacement components for my polishers and polishing creams. I was like, let me just throw this on the order. And I gotta tell you, this thing is super well made, very heavy duty, and I love the rubber encasement over here. There's a lot of knockoffs in the market, but to be honest with you, I like to support the brand. I like what they do, and this is why I'm showing it on the channel as well. Now, this little stem, you could unscrew this here. This is their valve assembly. Now, this is all well made. Okay, this is all solid brass encapsulated in rubber. The only dislike is this little handle, which is plastic. And so far, I mean, I've dropped this thing all the time and it hasn't broken yet. You can see it's got some scars right here from using it for the last 9 months. But so far, it works great. I love it. It feels really good in your hands. It feels very heavy duty, very good quality. And I definitely would suggest you guys buy this as a kit. I just wanted to show this because a lot of guys have seen this in some videos, especially when I did the Ferrari F355 wash video without the pressure washer. This is what I use to rinse the car down. Now, another cool thing, I showed this guys in one of my videos where I prepped one of my cars, and the way I did it, and I highly recommend it, is with the Auto Fanatic 007 Snowstorm, because this has extremely high lubricity. And these are the fine surface clay mat mitts. And I was totally against these when these first came out, and I really think the reason for that is because conventionally you would use this with a conventional detail spray, and you're covering a much larger surface area, so you're going to be prone to going beyond where you spray your detail spray, and you're going to start to mar and cause issues in your paint. So what I'm recommending with this is to foam up the car. You could use either a pump up foamer, you could use the foam cannon and foam up panel per panel, and put your hand in the mitt and go over each panel, and that's going to give you a really nice prep. So it's going to decontaminate the paint, and then when you're done, give it an IPA wipe. If you want to do any paint correction, do your paint correction, then do your ceramic coating, sealant, wax, or whatever you prefer. And this thing is really good, and it's going to knock down the efficiency of claying your car by almost 50%. So these are pretty good, and there's a bunch of vendors that have these. This is the Grills Garage one, but there's a lot of people that make these as well from Nanoskin, and I'll put some links in this video as well, so if you guys want to check that out. Now, we're going to move over to something that's really cool, is right here. This is called Grip Mat. You may have seen this in some of my videos this year where I've been working on my car and I keep the hardware and fasteners in this little storage container. Now, this is This is a company that's owned by a veteran. These are silicone storage trays. These are really, really cool. They come in various different sizes. I can show you guys here. And you could pop these out just like that. So not only could you use this when you're working on the car, I use it in the garage when I'm working on projects, you know, when I'm doing any kind of components where I want to take something apart and I got different fasteners all over, I'll categorize them in this tray instead of using the magnetic trays. And I have the big one, I had the medium one, I have this one. So these things are really cool, and I definitely think once you have it and you put it to use, you're gonna realize how useful something like this is. Also, it won't scratch the paint. So when you're working under your hood of your car or somewhere on the interior, let's say you wanna put something on the armrest and you're doing some interior work or pulling trim apart, this is not gonna scratch the leather. You don't have to put a towel down or anything. Just make sure the grip mat is clean. Usually I just give it a wipe with Auto Fanatic 007 and a clean towel, or I hose it out outside, blow dry it, and then I use it on my project. So this really comes in handy so far. And if you guys check my content on Instagram, I use this a lot when I'm working on the Ferrari 355. So definitely check out Grip Mat. It's definitely a cool thing to have. All right, guys, so more auto detailing stuff here. So I've never liked very plush towels, microfiber towels. I always had issues with them whenever I used them from multiple vendors, including the ones from Chemical Guys. And you guys have watched my content on detailing. I never really loved these towels. Now, when I was doing the Griot's Garage Ceramic 3-in-1, I was having some struggles with that. And then I talked to Jeff Brown at Griot's, and he told me this is the towel you need to go to do your final wipe. And after I started using them, I really, really like these. Now, what I use these for is if you're gonna do a ceramic SiO2-based sprayable product, this is probably the best towel to go over the product to give it the final finish. Also great to do waterless washes. Also great to do Auto Fanatic 007 or your favorite detailer or spray sealant. These towels are great. They also are super soft. So if you're working on anything like a vintage car and you have very soft single stage paints, these things are awesome. Absolutely love these things. These are the Griot's Garage edgeless microfiber towels. Now, got some microfiber little mitts here. I think I got these from CarPro. I'm not really sure, but I'll put a link to all of this stuff in the description of this video. So these could be used a couple of different ways. You could use these to apply wax. You could use them to apply ceramic coatings on wheels, and you could also use these if you want to dip it in a bucket and clean your wheels as well. If you have very intricate, finely meshed, detailed wheels, these come in a set like this, and these are pretty cool. The only thing is, sometimes when I clean my cars, I don't like to wear gloves, and in that case, I don't like my hands to get wet. But if you are wearing gloves and you're already doing that kind of a detail or wash, these things actually could be pretty handy to have in your detailing arsenal, and I think these things are pretty good. So we're gonna put those to the side. Now, I did a full detailed video on the ceramic 3-in-1 Griot's Garage wax, and I also have a gallon of it here. I've tested all the SiO2 products in the market, every single one of them, and the ones that perform the best I show on the channel or I've discussed in my content before, but the ones that fail with streaking, lack of longevity, and everything else, when you put a product on the car and you have to fight it, I don't want to show that to you guys. I want you guys to do stuff that's easy, enjoyable, and you don't have to struggle when you're gonna do it. So far, if you watch my video on this, if you prep the paint properly, this is an outstanding product. We've been using it on our Alfa Romeo Stelvio for almost a year. Actually, it is about a year, in December. And I have not done a contact wash on that car in about 9 months. All we do, like I said, we do an upkeep, we do a touchless wash with Auto Fanatic 007 Snowstorm, we pressure wash it, and then I go over it with, when I dry the car, I blow it, and then I hit it with some Auto Fanatic 007 to increase that hydrophobic properties and also give you a little bit of a base protection in between your next wash. And I gotta tell you, this stuff is holding up great. It's not cheap, it's about $85 a gallon, but if you guys wanna try it out, pick up the smaller 22-ounce bottle here. You can get these on Amazon as well. But follow my video and do the prep, because that's the key to getting this stuff to work properly. Now, another cool thing, I saw this on Pan the Organizer's channel a while ago, the Detailing Outlaws. This is called a Buckenizer. What's really cool about this is I got my custom modified wheel woolies in here, and I just want to show you guys. So there's some drain holes on the bottom. So this clips onto a 5-gallon or a 3-gallon bucket. And what's really cool about this, like let's say when you're cleaning wheels, you have the smaller detailing brushes, and a lot of times you'll put your brushes back into your bucket with the grit guard and it'll knock over, and then you got to stick your hand into the water and get it out. So what's really cool is that you could dip it into the bucket with your solution and your grit guard. You could clean your wheels, and then when you're done with the process, you put it back into here, okay? And it could drain itself out, and it keeps it away from topping over into the bucket and causing a mess. And I actually think for 20 bucks, this thing's made in Germany. This thing is a home run. I actually love it. I've been using this thing lately, and I saw this on Pan the Organizer's YouTube channel. I was like, you know what, I gotta try that out. It looks like a little cool little thing that I wouldn't mind having in the garage. So let's get going with some more cool stuff. All right, guys, so more on the detailing spectrum. So I did a really cool video on the Zymol Ital waxing of the Ferrari 355. Now, the reason why I'm going to bring this up is I'm not saying for everybody to go out and buy this particular one, but Zymol makes various different waxes that you could use to wax your car. What was really cool about this, and I really think you guys, if you haven't seen that video, it's a long video, about 40 minutes long, but it's a very cool therapeutic process of waxing the car with your hands. Now, the reason why you could do that safely is that the Zymol waxes do not have harsh chemicals and solvents. This is an all-natural product, and it's very therapeutic. And if you guys want to try something new and really, really enjoy that experience, I really suggest you look into something from Zymol that might work for the paint chemistry on your car, and try to do something like this. Watch my video, and I think you're really, really going to enjoy the process. It's a little expensive, but like I said, if you want to try something and enjoy the process on a Saturday or Sunday, definitely pick something like this up. Now, as far as leather care, a lot of guys have been always asking me about that too. And I actually had some pretty good results with the Sonax Alcantara upholstery cleaner and the leather cleaner. I'm not really sure if the chemistry between these two products is really different. I'm going to be honest with you, because I've used both of them side by side and I don't really notice a difference, especially on the newer cars, you know, because they have a lot of protection in the finish as well in the leather. But as far as the Alcantara cleaner, this is great. It's a foam, you pump it up onto a microfiber towel, and you could go and clean your steering wheel or your seats, and it makes the car look a hell of a lot better and takes out that nattiness. As far as this too, this also comes out like a pump up foam mousse. Put it on a microfiber towel, you can clean any of the interiors of your car. Now, if you have an older car, something from the 70s, 80s, or 90s that has the rich Connolly leather, it could be a Mercedes-Benz, it could be a Porsche, it could be a Ferrari. Connolly Hide Care, this is a very interesting product. It actually has a solvent in it. You can see that there. And this actually will restore all the nutrients in the base formulas, the way those leathers were tanned originally. And this also will help premature cracking and everything else. This is an expensive product, a little bit finicky to use, but this is definitely something that I wanted to show you guys, because I started doing the Ferrari 355 with this, and it actually really made the leather glow and come back to life. Even though the car's in amazing condition, this is what I'm using on that particular car, because that is Connolly leather, and I wanted to use something that is specific to the formulations and the leather hides of that generation. So one other cool thing I want to show you guys, if you watched my video on fixing the Shelby GT350 stripes, I cursed and screamed. That was one of the most frustrating tasks I've ever done. Now, a lot of guys laugh because they email me like, what can't you do? I can't do wallpaper, can't do window tinting, and I don't do vinyl wrapping. So it's just one of those things that my brain just turns off and I can't focus, I can't do it. Now, one of you guys recommended to try Rapid Tack, and I'm going to tell you this right now, my second, third, and fourth attempt of doing vinyl, this is what you guys need. So you guys got to buy this on Amazon. It's cheap, because what I tried to do when I did that video on the GT350, I tried to mix baby shampoo with a little alcohol and deionized water and making my own mix. I followed these formulas online. If you watch that video, it didn't really work that well. So I just said, this time around, I want to buy something that's ready to use. It's got tons of thousands of people who love this stuff. And I probably will show this in an upcoming video as well on the Auto Fanatic channel as well. So that's just another little thing, Rapid Tack. So if you guys are doing vinyl wraps, you want to do a little bit of PPF in your car, definitely pick up a bottle of that and some good squeegees, and it'll get you going. So we're going to move over to the back. We got some sockets I want to show you guys. A couple of cool socket sets that I have here I want to show you guys is, this is a 1/4-inch drive socket set. These are hardened steel, but what's really special about these, you look right there, they're magnetized. There's a magnet into the base of each socket. Now, I can't even tell you how many times I work on cars. When you're going underneath the car, the hardware falls out and you got to chase it. Sometimes when you're working on the interior under the hood of your car, sometimes you lose fasteners that you go crazy trying to find those fasteners again. So this is really cool. It's an inexpensive kit. You can pick this up on Amazon, and this is made by Sonax, and a really, really cool tool. And I recommend the 1/4-inch drive. I don't think you're going to really need any of the bigger stuff, but for the smaller fasteners that tend to fall out, this is definitely worth using, and I've been using this a lot lately. So both of these are from Milwaukee. This is a 1/4-inch drive. This is a 3/8 drive. Now, this is what I want to show you guys. It's really cool. Now, when you're working on cars, whether you're in your driveway or your garage, what's the most common thing that happens with sockets? Sockets are round, and they usually roll, and they fall into your car, and you lose them. So what I thought was really cool, and this is what I want to show you guys as far as the innovation and different design, is that these sockets have flats manufactured into them so they don't roll, okay? This is super really cool when you're working in your garage or working in your driveway, especially when you're alone or even when you're working on a project. The worst thing is when you have your sockets on the floor, if you don't have a grip mat, and you kick them or accidentally move them and then they roll under a tire or they roll down your driveway and you go crazy. So the Milwaukee has a really nice setup, and what's really cool too for organization is that you can remove this injected molded tray, like I show you there, and you could drop this into your toolbox or your tool cabinet in your garage. So you don't have to worry about foam inserts, none of that stuff. This is ready to go, super high quality, everything's outlined. And then this is the 3/8 drive. So you get a really nice set. They're not that cheap, but to be honest with you, what you're getting with the sockets, I think is great. They also have a really good warranty, and they have a very, very nice feel like that here. So it gives you the ratchets, the extensions. You even get a swivel, which is definitely important. And considering that there's no longer Sears around anymore, you know, Craftsman, that's usually where a lot of people used to turn to with a lot of this stuff. And I don't really recommend like the Husky stuff that you're going to get at like Home Depot. I definitely would recommend, if you're not going to go with Snap-on, Natco tools, or anything like really super professional. I like the Milwaukee stuff. I like the gear wrench, and a lot of my stuff is Craftsman and Snap-on. So it really depends what you want, but this is definitely cool to have the sockets that are squared off and they're not going to roll down your driveway. So that's about it. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up the AutoFanatic 2020 Black Friday video. Hope you guys really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that I showed you. It's a lot of stuff you haven't seen before as far as the tools and equipment. And like I said, little odd stuff like this, like Rapid Tack. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, but if you ever plan on doing anything vinyl in your car, definitely pick this up. Save yourself a lot of headache. I definitely recommend try to wax your car by hand. It's a hell of a lot of fun. And also the Sonex leather and Alcantara cleaner. These things are a home run. Buy them as a kit, leave them in your garage. Also the AutoFanatic car care line. This stuff is also going to be on sale on the AutoFanatic website. We still have the 2-year sale going on, which is the code 2-year. And also on Amazon, we're going to be doing some flash sales on there, so definitely stay tuned to that. Grip mat, like I said, I love these things. I use them all over the garage and working on cars. It's just well worth it. My absolute favorite cordless polisher, the Flex XFV15. This thing is awesome. It's not cheap, but if you're going to spend money this Christmas or you want something really special that you're going to love, and you're not like, let's just say you want something that's portable and you just want something just for your own cars, definitely look at picking this up. This is super safe, easy to use. I love it. Also, the Grio's Garage G8, home run, $150, best $150 you'll ever spend. And also, here's the arsenal of Milwaukee tools. This is all the stuff that I'm using. I tell you, if you're going to get one of these tools, get the vacuum and get the impact driver to work on your cars to switch off your wheels and tires and do suspensions and brakes. Home run. And also these tools as well. This all really a good accompanying for the Milwaukee Power product line. And also for you guys that are doing paint correction, check out the Rocket Light. This thing is pretty damn cool. It's functional. You can use it for all different things. You could also clamp, if you guys are doing your own videos and stuff, you could clamp onto here with the camera. So you could use it as a tripod and a light source as well. And actually in a lot of videos that I've shot in the garage and stuff that I worked on, I use the Rocket Light, but you guys don't see it. So like I said, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the AutoFanatic YouTube channel. Stay tuned. There's going to be more videos on a lot of this stuff in upcoming videos, and there's going to be some more dedicated specific videos on some of the stuff that I show you on the table in the near future after the holidays, especially on the XFV15. I absolutely love that tool, and I really want to show it in action, and I want to go over all the details with you soon. So like I said, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content, and hope you guys have a great holiday, and I will see you guys soon with some more automotive content.